Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the second episode of the Play at the Plate podcast. We have a great lineup for you guys today. I have a special guest with me, my friend Jack Vidino. Tell us a little about yourself, Jack.
Well, me and my dear friend Mr. Cove over here have been manifesting this day for the past couple weeks now. Anyway,
Yes, we have.
I've been playing baseball and watching baseball since I was about six or so. I would say six or so. Diehard Phillies fan. Little disappointed. That's all I got.
That's all you got?
Yep.
Well, considering that you are a proud but sad Phillies fan, I decided that it was appropriate to start talking about your Phillies because the Phillies have made some headlines the past couple days.
Yeah.
Uh,
Unfortunately, against like two of the bottom 15 teams in the league, but we're not going to talk about that part.
Hey. It still happened.
Yeah.
So Weston Wilson is the first person I'd like to talk about. He hit for the cycle yesterday.
Yeah, it's the 10th Phillies player in Phillies history to hit for the cycle. What is it, the fourth of the season in the MLB?
Yeah, something like that.
That's actually, I think, it might be one of the higher cycle totals the past couple years.
Yeah, it does. It's weirdly infrequent.
Same thing with complete games do we have a perfect game this year?
Mm-mm.
No. Complete games. We have a lot of complete game shutouts. But
By pitchers?
yeah, I
Or
think
like-
so.
Oh yeah, Wheeler probably has a lot.
Well, not for the Phillies, just like in general.
Oh, in general.
Just in general.
Okay, yeah.
There's been I feel like more than frequent years. Anyway, the Phillies have a lot of uprising in these next couple of weeks. So we need a lot of boost to the morale in the clubhouse. And with Weston Wilson's cycle, that's going to do just that. Again, it was against the Marlins. So, I mean, it's not the team that you really want it to be against, but it's still a cycle. It's still a rarity. It's a great thing for the fans. Gives them a little bit of a little hope, I'd say. But yeah, again, last night walk-off hit for Trey. That's another great morale booster going into Players Weekend. Gonna have a fun night tonight and tomorrow night with all the swaggy gear. But yeah, I think the next couple weeks are gonna be a little rough. We got Atlanta, Kansas City, Atlanta again, and then Houston's gonna be a big series. Those three games in Philly gonna be huge. I mean, not just because the Astros are the Astros, but it is because the Astros are the Astros. I think this might be the first time they've been back to the bank since the World Series. I don't know if they were here last year.
I don't remember. I don't think so. I think the series last year was in Houston.
So it's gonna be a loud couple 3 games. We're gonna need a lot of power. We're gonna need Stott's got to pick it up. I know that for a fact. Marsh has to get a couple hits, but other than that, I think there's a lot of hope here. 72-50. You know, we're on a 3-game win streak right now, so we gotta keep the pedal to
Put the pedal to the metal.
pedal to the metal. There you go.
There we go.
Sorry,
So-
I'm a little fogged.
So, I mean, the Phillies are in a very fine spot. You have 8-game chokehold on the division. Oh, Lord. Oh, Lord. We're good. You have a 8-game chokehold on the division. That's probably not going to slip up. So, Phillies are in a fine spot going into down the stretch. Austin Hayes, kind of the big trade deadline move, hurt. Obviously, that's why Wilson came up. But honestly, so far, I think Wilson has probably had a bigger impact than Austin Hayes.
In the amount of games that they've played this year for the Phillies, I'd say yes.
Yeah.
Also, Hayes had that one home run in like the first or second inning, and that I don't remember who it was against, but he had a pretty clutch home run early in the game, one of the games past couple weeks. But Hayes has a lot of potential. That's why we got him. But I really think that we play the Orioles, or not the Orioles, the Braves twice in the next 2 weeks. That's 6 games, so we're gonna at least need to win 4 of those, I think, to have a big enough lead. Pebbles, what are you eating, bro? Whatever it is, it's gone now.
Okay, yeah.
But yeah, I think that's just really crucial. We have the 8-game lead, like bro said, and yeah, we just really need to pick it up and keep the pedal to the metal.
Pedal to the metal. So, hold on a second. It's gonna explode. We're good.
We're good.
All right. So, kind of steering to the other side of the pinstripes. Aaron Judge. I want to talk about Aaron Judge because he hit home run number 300
Within 1,000 games.
Within 1,000 games. And with his injury history, I want to talk about a clip that I saw of some broadcasters from MLB Network saying that Aaron Judge is a absolute lock for 600 home runs. And I want to know what your thoughts on that are, given that he has been like borderline made of glass his entire career.
I personally think that it won't happen. He's already been in the league for 8 years now. He's played less than 1,000 games, but he also hasn't played physically in about 2 of those 8 years, I think. Probably more, if I had to guess.
Yeah. He's been... I don't think he's played over 120 games in any more than 3 or 4 seasons.
Yeah, I think he'll be fine. He'll play the whole year this year.
He's already missed time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I think that he's not going to make it to... I don't think he's going to make it to 15 years, in my opinion. There's no shot. That team relies on him way too much. He plays too hard. He is the Yankees, in my opinion. Without Cole this year, they've had really nobody. But Aaron Judge and Soto have been their team.
I was about to say Juan Soto.
But Juan Soto might not stick around.
It's true.
So if Soto ends up leaving, the Yankees are gonna need to fill that spot, and if they don't fill that spot, Judge is gonna have to pick that up. Stanton's on his last leg too. They don't got a lot of manpower up there. I mean, they got Jason Dominguez up in the works, but he's also been a little bit of a glassy player in my opinion. He's
got
been hurt a little
last
much.
year.
Yeah. But he has a lot of potential too. I mean, the Yankees are really like a make or break team in my opinion because they have a lot of potential, but they also could lose that potential within the span of a year. Yeah.
So Chisholm is a player I want to talk about when you talk about kind of filling Soto's role. Assuming he doesn't stick around, which a part of me thinks he will, because I don't think the Yankees would trade for him if they didn't think they could re-sign him.
Yeah.
So there's that. But they did get Chisholm at the deadline, which we'll talk about later. But he has about 3 more years of control after this year.
Yeah.
Huge. That's huge. Assuming he stays healthy again, which seems to be a theme
with the Yankees.
Yeah. So I mean, Judge, if you're asking me, Judge isn't gonna get to 600 home runs, like you said. I don't think he's gonna play enough. He's just gonna being that big, 6'7", like 280 pounds. Your body just like isn't made to move the way his does.
Yeah.
So I think his stature, like historically, like if you want to talk about that, I mean Stanton's built very similarly.
Say that. He's been up and down in like the past 4 years.
Exactly. Like
ever since he got traded to the Yankees, he's been iffy and I think he had maybe 130 home run year.
Yeah, like the first year he got into New York,
yeah,
he had a 38 home run year,
and then after that, and his average is gone. All of his numbers have went down.
Yeah, and he hasn't. His body is deteriorated that the entire time, and Judge is also 32.
Yeah.
So he's a lot older than I think a lot of us think.
Because he came up so early.
He came up when he was 25.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Judge, there's a world where he hits 60 home runs for the next 5-6 years and he at least makes a run for it.
I think he'll get to at least 5.
He can get to 5 pretty easily, which in my opinion, as soon as you hit 5, you can you're kind of a lock.
That's
for
a
the
Hall of Fame lock. I mean,
Yeah.
he's gonna make the Hall of Fame. You know, he's been the Yankees captain for like the past like year and now
Exactly.
2 years, and then he's been the only player since Jeter. I mean, there hasn't been a small or big enough gap since then. I mean, Jeter retired in like what 2014.
Yeah.
So, I mean, still the Yankees. Aaron Judge is a generational talent. Don't get me wrong, but he is being a little, in my opinion, what's the word?
Overrated.
Overrated. Yes.
And I wanna specify something. Aaron Judge is not overrated this year. Aaron Judge is a beast.
Yeah.
But I feel like when we start talking about 600 home runs, best player of all time,
No.
he's just not going to play long enough for that.
I mean, if you look at Barry Bonds, Barry Bonds obviously.
You can't compare.
Yeah,
anybody
but
to
like,
Barry Bonds.
yeah, I'm just gonna stop.
Yeah, yeah, you can't compare anybody
No.
to Barry Bonds. But I mean, at the same time, I understand because you're talking about like a huge power threat that can also gets on base better than like almost anybody else in the
He
league.
can change the game in one swing, no matter when it is or where it is. Like
Exactly.
that.
Like, even like, okay, as some of you know, I'm an Orioles fan. I have to watch this guy play a lot. All right. I have to watch him play in New York. I have to watch him play in Baltimore. And a couple of years ago, I went to Orioles Yankees game, and his crack of the bat is louder than anybody else's.
Honestly, him and Stanley had the loudest two in the game.
Exactly, and that kind of correlates with the whole
Yeah.
bat speed thing.
Yep.
So I mean, just that simple intimidation factor.
Yep. That's a huge factor. I mean,
He has such an impact on pitchers and how they attack him.
honestly, the team, because I don't know if you all remember 2022 World Series. Bryce Harper hits a
Here we go.
hits a home run, and as he's trotting back to the dugout, he tells Alec Bohm, hey, blah 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 blah, and then boom, home run, Alec Bohm. So it's just Aaron Judge's mental game also. It's huge. He influences the team. The Yankees are a little bit of an older team. They have the young uprising, but LeMahieu, Cole, Judge, Stanton. Who else do they have? Rizzo.
Rizzo's hurt, isn't
Yeah,
he?
he hasn't played a lot this year. But like that pitching staff, I mean, it's iffy. But
They don't have anybody, man. The youngest guy on that pitching staff would be Luis Gil.
yeah,
And
he has a lot of potential too.
Yeah.
I mean, last year he did decent last year, I'd say.
He was a reliever last year.
Yeah.
And that's something I want to touch on too. The jump from I talked about this about Garrett Crochet.
Yep.
The jump from a reliever to a starter for some arms just isn't meant to be.
Yeah.
And that's a huge concern I have with Luis Gil.
Leads to arm problems.
It definitely leads to arm problems because, I mean, when you pitch a full major league season as a reliever and then start,
The next season, it's not going to be the
it's
same.
not the same workload. It's amplified by a lot.
You're pitching 5 to 6 innings every, fifth day? Every fourth day?
Mm-hmm.
And you come in the game every 2 days and you're pitching an inning, 2 innings.
Mm-hmm.
It's just not the same. You're throwing 20 pitches, you're throwing 90.
Exactly.
I mean, that's even though you have the extra 3 days, you're still throwing more pitches than you would in those 4 days.
Yeah, definitely. So it's a huge adjustment for something like that. But other than when we talk about Luis Gil, I mean, who else is in that pitching staff for the Yankees?
Is Chad Green still on that team?
Chad Green is a Blue Jay.
That's what I was gonna say.
Yeah,
So
Chad Green is a Blue Jay.
without Garrett, oh wait. Oh, Nestor Cortez. There you go.
You know what? He's someone I thought we would have saw traded,
Yeah.
and he didn't get traded, which kind of surprised me.
Well,
But
because they got nobody.
they couldn't afford to trade him.
Yeah.
So Garrett Cole, he started the season hurt. He's been up and down.
Did he come back at all or no?
Yeah, he's been like the definition of mid.
Yeah.
Nestor Cortez, who's been the definition of mid all year. We have Luis Gil, who has his ups and downs, but overall, I think probably has the highest potential on that team right now.
For sure.
And then you have Carlos Rodon.
Oh my goodness, I forgot about him.
And then you have Carlos Rodon. And
Oh, what a waste of money that's been.
That's been the definition of a waste of money.
Let me tell you, folks. I know about a waste of money. Taiwan Walker.
Taiwan Walker.
Talk to me about a waste of money.
Oh my God! Didn't he just make his first start like 2 weeks ago?
No.
No?
Well, he made it. He played the other day.
Mm.
It was against the Marlins. The second game in the Marlins series.
Oh,
Absolute atrocity.
Rough. But I mean, they're kind of running with a 4-man rotation, and it's just not a recipe for success. That's what I talked about in the power rankings video. The Yankees needed to go out and get depth, and to an extent they did,
But
with
not to-
Chisholm.
yeah.
but they didn't get their guy. They didn't get their guy on pitching.
Yeah.
They didn't go out and get the Jack Flaherty. They didn't go out and get the Michael Kopech. They didn't go out and get the
Trevor Scott. What's his name?
Tanner Scott. They didn't go out and get the Zach Eflin. And I feel like they're going to see the repercussions of that as we keep going down the year. Yeah. So, I mean, we went kind of off the rails. We were supposed to be talking about Aaron Judge.
It turned into the Yankees segment.
It turned out into the Yankees. Yeah, also fuck the Yankees.
All right. Yeah, I agree.
All right. So.
Wait, let me go piss.
Okay. That's all right. 2. All right. So there's another player that we would like to talk about, and his name is Bobby Witt. Bobby Witt has been more or less otherworldly after the All-Star break, and I'm about to pull up his stats right now. I do need game logs because
if the Royals signed Shohei Ohtani, they would be the best team in the league.
Yeah,
I said that about in the offseason. See, the Royals are a very small market team. You know, they're in the middle of freaking Missouri. No one wants to go out and watch the Royals play baseball. You know, all the people down in Missouri want to farm, get crop, and get money.
Watch Patrick Mahomes.
And watch Patrick Mahomes because, you know, he's a generational talent. Anyway, the Royals have had a lot of uprising in their team. I feel like I've been using the word uprising a lot.
You have.
In this segment,
That's
in this
fine.
video. Anyway,
That's fine.
The Royals are, in my opinion, a top 5 team in the league. You know, they have a lot of team chemistry. You know, Salvador Perez is on that team. You know, he's been in the league for like 80 years, I feel like.
It's true.
MJ Melendez, is that his name?
Yeah.
I mean, he was kind of a bum last year. Everyone thought that he was going to be like some crazy guy. Like, he had a lot of
He
potential.
was a top prospect.
He was a top prospect. You know, he came up, had a really disappointing year last year. Kind of turned that around. Still not great. Still not bad.
He's the definition of like league average.
Yeah.
But he has a lot of positional versatility. He's kind of like I used to compare him to Dalton Varsho.
Yeah, because
lot.
Varsho plays outfield. He could catch.
Yeah, exactly.
Infield. Melendez can do the same thing.
Mm-hmm. So now, in my opinion, they don't. Which, I mean, by the way, Royals, very old team. We were talking about the Yankees being old.
Yep.
This offseason, they signed like geriatric pitchers, and it's
Seth
done.
Lugo.
Seth Lugo, he's getting there.
Well, didn't they sign him in the offseason?
Yeah. But someone who's not geriatric on that team is Bobby Witt, and since the All-Star break, he is hitting .465 with a .518 on base, .869 slugging, and a .1387 OPS.
Let me tell you, folks, that's your AL MVP.
That's your AL MVP right there. I don't want to hear an argument for Judge anymore. I'm sorry. Especially if the Royals make the playoffs. Like, I mean, where are they in the division right now? Are they...
Royals can go far.
Royals...
They're in first, bro. Oh, wait,
they're not in first. They're in third.
Oh, it's good.
But they're in the wild card. They're in the wild card.
Which is good. They have the record to do it. And see, it's just their division. I mean, the AL Central has like always been the definition of mid, and this season somehow these teams are gonna get 85 plus wins.
Yeah, dude, they're like fine. I don't understand.
Like the Royals, Twins, and Guardians are gonna get 85 plus wins.
And The
Almost-
Tigers might go up 500.
The Tigers might get 75 wins.
That's crazy.
I don't know the last time they've been in that
Now-
position.
now we're
with
not gonna-
Javi Baez. Come on.
With
now.
Javi Baez is their starting shortstop.
How is that feasible?
Well, no, we're not going to talk about the White
Yeah,
Sox.
we're
not
derailing
gonna-
here.
They're that's an ugly number.
We're not gonna talk about the White Sox.
We don't.
Nothing needs to be said.
Nothing needs to be said. But the Royals, man, I mean, they don't need any more offense. Like, truly, they have the guys to get on base for Witt, and he does nothing but slug.
Yeah.
He's been absolutely crazy since the All-Star break. Again, he has 9 doubles, 2 triples, 9 home runs with 27 ribbies. Like,
Can't beat
that's
it.
so productive for a team that was projected to, like, what?
60 wins.
60 wins, maybe? Like, they were not expected to do a lot this, especially with, like I said, with that deadline. They were not.
No one thought Bobby Witt was going to be this good this year.
Nobody. He's. It's crazy to say this for someone who was selected number 2 in a draft, but he's like what am I trying to say? Like the diamond in the rough of that draft.
Yeah.
And he was selected number 2. Like, it's hard to imagine a world where the Orioles took Adley Rutschman with the number 1 pick, and it was a bad pick. And that's where we're at right now. Because, I mean, he plays awesome defense. He's the fastest guy in the league.
Yep.
He is the definition of a 5-tool player.
He is. He could be the best player in the league right now.
Yeah, I don't disagree. He impacts we said this with Judge. He impacts the game in so many different ways. It's just, and even more ways than Judge because of his speed. Yeah. Like, he's 25-25 right now.
Yeah.
And
he could easily get 30-30.
Oh yeah, 2nd year in a row.
Yeah.
It'd be 30-30. I think there's a chance for 35, like 50. I think he can get to 50 steals. I think it's possible. Depending if this production continues and he continues to get on base this much, 25, maybe more.
25 in less than a month is kind of crazy.
Yeah, I know.
There's no way he gets 50.
No.
Maybe like 35, 40, but like.
Let me make sure he has.
There's no way he can get 25 in 1 month.
He has 3. He only has 3 since. Okay, maybe not. Maybe I jumped the gun.
Yeah.
Maybe I jumped the gun. But still, I mean, that sort of production is just. It's otherworldly.
It's like unheard of. You know.
Honestly.
I don't think anyone saw this coming. Not even the Royals.
Absolutely not.
I mean, they obviously have a lot of potential on that team. I mean, their farm system's meh.
They have one of the kind of more
Bottom
mediocre,
tier.
more mediocre farm systems that there are.
But they're really gonna need to rely on their pitching to get them through this next stretch. That's really been, I think, their only downside this year.
Bullpen.
The bullpen. I mean, the bullpen's gonna cost you games. I mean, that's really, I feel like it's a lot of teams' problems is the bullpen. You know, if you have a solid offense, solid lineup, solid 3 starters, then you go to the bullpen, you're like, what am I looking at here? You know, you look at the numbers.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's just the downfall of your team. You can't build a World Series winning team without a good bullpen. You need a good. You can't have decent. You need good.
You need a
solid.
You need at least 2 lockdown guys who can close out games
that will not allow runs.
And as far as I'm not sure I can name you a Royals reliever. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, I'm gonna keep it a bean. I don't know either.
Let's check Sam Long. That's not a reliever.
Michael Wacha? Is that someone?
Michael Wacha is a starting pitcher.
Oh, there he is.
John Schreiber. Oh, Will Smith. Oh, they have Will Smith.
Oh, well, of course.
Well, they're gonna win the World Series.
They're gonna win the World Series.
They're gonna win the World Series. I'm not gonna lie. I thought they traded him. Angel Zerpa.
Never heard of it.
Chris Stratton.
Never heard of him.
James MacArthur.
Never heard of him.
They have Nick Anderson. He was good.
He was good with the Rays.
Yeah, he was good with the Rays. Michael Lorenzen's on that team.
They just traded for him in the deadline. You know, Michael Lorenzen threw a no-hitter.
There we go.
For the Phillies.
For your Philadelphia Phillies.
And I've never heard his name called since. You know,
That's very true.
he played like no innings in that World Series at all, which was a little confusing because we all thought he was the next big thing for this organization, and he's went to crap. He's shit the bed. Excuse my French.
Yeah, but I mean, their starting pitching are some big arms. Like I said, borderline geriatric. Like we're talking about a 34-year-old Seth Lugo, a 32-year-old Michael Wacha, a 33-year-old Chris Stratton,
Who?
a 34-year-old Will Smith, and a 33-year-old Nick Anderson.
Now,
So,
see, they really need. They should have made, I think, another pitching move at the deadline that could have bolstered their rotation. They should have went out and tried to get like a Michael Kopech,
yeah,
or they should have tried to get maybe Flaherty. Probably wouldn't have wanted to come here. Did he have a trade clause? I don't think so.
no, I don't
Anyway,
think
they needed another solid arm because I mean, if you're looking at their ERAs right now, they're Alec Marsh is the only guy that's above a 4 ERA. You know, Seth Lugo is hovering at that 3 mark. You know,
so. Alec Marsh is also not currently on the major league roster.
yeah, which is a little confusing. They're working with the 4-man here.
Well,
But like
Lorenzen's probably that fifth starter.
yeah,
Right now.
at this point.
Yeah.
Seth Lugo is another guy who had a lot of potential, a lot of well, he had the potential part. He's been in the league for a while now. But like they expected a lot from him and he gave them that for a solid period of time.
He's definitely come more back down to earth.
Yeah, it's like he had a good start, good first couple months, and then it's like the little decline now.
Yeah, but, I mean, he's still been solid. He's always going to go out there and give you innings.
Yeah.
Which seeing Seth Lugo transition to a starter after being a reliever with the Mets so long,
Yeah.
that kind of threw me for a loop. But he was good with the Padres.
Yeah, I mean, you can't go wrong with Seth Lugo.
I mean, you can't anymore, and I feel like he's going to be one of those old guys like Rich Hill,
Like Will Smith.
Will Smith, who's just going to kind of stick around for a while, like David Robertson.
That's a name.
That's a name. Who's just going to kind of stick around and do what they have to do. And
Yeah.
I
Like
mean,
you could see him in the next couple of years being the third guy in the rotation. You know, they might get a guy or two, and he'll still be there. He'll still be an asset, but it's just not the guy you want to be number 1.
yeah, so Royals, they have the starting pitching for the most part, but as long as Bobby Witt Jr. keeps doing what Bobby Witt Jr. is doing, I mean, they're very, very, they're built for success, in my opinion. So, Paul DeYoung is on this roster. All right, never mind.
They just got him.
They just got Paul DeYoung. Yeah, never mind.
But
Season's over.
I think this offseason is going to be a really crucial offseason for this Royals team. If they can't bring in a guy or two, that's really going to change the outcome of their season. Now, saying if they do make the playoffs, I consider that season a win
Absolutely.
for the Royals.
Absolutely.
They're obviously going to want to contend for the World Series. I mean, that's every team's goal. But you want to make the next step. So the Royals obviously made a step this year. They made a big impact on the MLB as a whole. Obviously, their fan base is a great fan base. They're really loyal. But the Royals, I mean, who's even going to be on the market this year? I mean, Soto's on the market.
You got Soto. Pitching wise, I'm not really sure. Corbin Burns.
Yeah, he's probably not. He's probably going to stay.
Yeah, he's probably gonna stay in Baltimore.
But you know, you're gonna need that reliable, Mr. Reliable. I mean, obviously Bobby Witt's been Mr. Reliable, but you need another guy or two on that team that's gonna really make an impact like Witt can. I mean, not to his level, but the consistency has to be there.
They need another name. That's
yeah,
what they really need. They
their
need
problem.
another name.
Yeah.
The Royals have been really productive this year and they've been winning games, but they're not gonna start making headlines with Kyle Isbell
Yep.
as their starting
for
center
example,
fielder.
you know, you have the Phillies. They have the big name Bryce Harper, Trey Turner, got Zach Wheeler, Nola. You know, you have these big guys on this team that have been around the league for years now that have made a constant impact to their teams, even if they haven't been on the Phillies or whatever team for that long. It's just the consistency factor in their careers. You know, looking at Hunter Renfroe over here, he's been on 4 teams in 4 years. You know, he's been with the Reds, he's been with the Brewers, Red
Brewers,
Sox,
Rays.
Rays. I mean, he's been all around the league. That's
Mhm.
not Mr. Consistent there. He's been at his average. I mean, but you need a guy that's gonna be there for more than half a season.
Exactly.
Like
Someone who's not always like
you
a
can't
name
you,
being surrounded on the trade block.
yeah, you don't want a rental. You want a permanent guy that will get you what you need.
I totally agree. But the Royals, I mean, in their last 10 games, they're 5-5, but they're on a win streak. Since the All-Star break, they're I like 15-10, which isn't as hot as they were.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's just gonna. It's a road, certainly a interesting road ahead, and Bobby Witt Jr. is always going to be at the forefront
He's
of that.
gonna lead that team.
Absolutely. So, as some of you guys may know, there are some things and some clips around the majors concerning Jarren Duran. He was caught, and I'll give him this. Although I don't understand how he can like single out something like this, like from a crowd. Um, a fan was being kind of a douche, right? Being kind of a douche, saying he needs a tennis racket to hit, and he called him something
They can't say.
we cannot say, because if
Yeah.
I'm gonna leave it there.
Yep. There we go.
I'm gonna leave it there.
No, go look it up.
Go look it up.
No, not you.
Oh yeah, go look it up.
Oh,
go look
my
it up. I'm
goodness.
so
I'm
sorry.
gonna smack you.
All right. So yeah, it's just a rough look, but something that I do kind of want to address that I think is kind of funny. Ever since he was given that suspension, Jarren Duran has the highest jersey sales in the league, which is
That's a statistic I didn't know.
yeah. He ever since that suspension
This happened like what, 2 days ago?
Yeah, like 2 or 3 days ago, and he ever in that time period he has the highest jersey sales I think ever in that sort of span.
I mean, Harper's was pretty high when he first signed.
Okay, well, but in like a day span, he has like the highest jersey
The
sales.
high jump, the jump.
Yeah,
The jump.
and I'm not sure why. They're obviously.
I mean, I could think why.
I can think why, but like, it's definitely interesting.
Yeah.
So
To say the least.
that's just something I kind of wanted to put out into the world that I don't think is getting talked about enough. He's played fine since he came back, but I mean, Jarren Duran is always going to make a positive impact on your team.
I mean,
Well,
for this year. I mean, yeah.
yeah.
Anyway, but Duran, I mean, last year, the past couple of years, I've watched him. I went to an Iron Pigs game. He was in AAA, playing for their AAA affiliate, the Red Sox. I don't remember who it was. Might have been the Flying. Are they the Flying Squirrels? I don't know.
I don't know.
Anyway, I mean, he's a solid guy. He's a great athlete.
Great athlete.
Yeah, I mean, he had that one. Where's the
Oh
ball? Where's the
my
ball?
God! Against the Blue Jays.
I've seen that clip like thousands of times. I've seen Jarren Duran edits because
at his lowest.
Yeah, but like, he's a guy that's gonna stay there for a little bit. I think. The Red Sox again, like the Royals, they're gonna need that name, right? They signed. I don't know how to say his name out of Japan. The Yoshida.
Masataka Yoshida.
Yeah, Yoshida.
He's been very average.
See, he got hurt though at the beginning of this year. He hasn't played at all. I think losing Bogarts
that
for
made
the
a
Red
huge
Sox
impact.
was a big impact.
They still have Rafi. Rafi Devers is the only.
Rafi is the name on that team. They have Trevor Story, but Trevor Story probably will never see the field again.
Yeah, he's
all that money that they gave him for what? 18 games.
Yeah, maybe like 30 games.
But they have Bobby Dahl back. Isn't he doing decent? No,
Bobby Dahlbeck sucks.
No, Tristan Casas.
That's
who I'm trying to say.
Yeah. Yeah, he's back. He just came back from injury. He'll always make a solid impact. First base, it's not a defensive position, but he plays a good first base. in terms of like, I mean, pitching, they have some exciting guys like Brian Bayo. He has a lively arm. I'm pretty sure we mentioned Rich Hill earlier. I don't remember why, but his name came up. He's just signed a minor league contract
Oh.
with the Red Sox,
He
so we
can't-
might see him.
I remember he was doing a little bullpen action.
He threw 100 pitches in the bullpen, which is crazy work in front of MLB scouts.
100 pitches.
40 like 5-year-old
Yeah, I don't know
Rich
how he
Hill.
does it. Does he have kids?
I assume so.
Anyway.
So I mean, there are other. I mean, Tanner Houck. We all thought he was going to win the Cy Young at the beginning of the year. At least I did.
Turned out.
Yeah. So Nick Pivetta, he's been fine. They have a very fine rotation.
Phillies legend Nick Pivetta.
Nick Pivetta was a Philly.
Yeah, he came up with the Phillies, I think.
I didn't know that. In terms of bullpen, I mean, Kenley Jansen.
Mid. Fell off. End of his career.
Okay. Just closed out the Orioles last night.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
But the Red Sox have been kind of weirdly hot. I don't know how sustainable it is with the roster they
have. A
have.
solid or similar record to the Yankees, right? Or
No,
not the Yankees. They're in third place though. The Red Sox.
they're
right?
in third place.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I mean, I'm pretty sure the Blue Jays are in last. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, Red Sox and Rays. They're gonna battle for third place. Obviously Orioles and Yankees. They're gonna battle out for first. And the Blue Jays, mediocre. They should forfeit the league.
I ranked them like obnoxiously low.
I would compare the Blue Jays season to the White Sox season because the Blue Jays had so much potential, and the White Sox had no potential. And look where they both ended up.
Wise words from Jack Medino.
The same place.
Yes, same place. Blue Jays have a 467 winning percentage. The White Sox have a 244.
That's the same place.
I'm pretty sure the league batting average is higher than the White Sox winning percentage.
That might be a statistic.
That's a statistic.
Put that on Twitter.
Oh my god. So, I mean, yeah, but the Blue Jays, I think the injury bug has kind of gotten them too. Bo Bichette.
Bo Bichette, I thought was going to get traded at the trade deadline, in my opinion. Oh, I did. I said I think.
Yeah.
Sorry. But Bo Bichette, I think coming up in he came up 2018, 2019.
2019.
He was supposed to be the new face of the MLB. That's from his father to his son. There was a lot of expectation.
There was
for
a lot
Bo
of
Bichette.
expectation. Face of the league was supposed to be Vladdy Guerrero.
Well, he could still do that. He still has 2 years to turn that around.
Plus, he's been nasty these past couple of weeks.
Okay, Vlad has been the Blue Jays for the past year and a half now.
A lot longer than that.
He sucked in 2020, bro.
He came up in 2019.
Anyway, Bo Bichette is falling off. They signed George Springer to that contract. He has not lived up to that contract
Awful.
at all.
Awful.
Alex Manoah,
Awful.
I'm not even gonna dabble into him.
Oh, awful.
That reaction.
What a story, Alec Manoah.
That reaction just said all of my words.
What a story.
They traded. They had Kevin Kiermaier, got rid of him. He was decent with them, but
Where's he now? The Dodgers.
Dodgers just got traded to the Dodgers. I feel like the Blue Jays had again a lot of potential and have not lived up to that potential. They really invested into that team and it's not really gotten them anywhere. They just traded away Nate Pearson to the Cubs.
You know what? I had this idea in my head ever since I heard Nate Pearson's name and saw him pitch that he was going to be the next big thing because I saw triple digits and he's been nobody.
I played with his card on MLB The Show a couple of years ago and I thought he was going to be the next big guy.
Oh, that Future Stars card.
The Future Stars card.
Oh, that was
with Outlier, if you know what I'm talking about.
Oh my god.
It was a demon. You didn't want to face him.
He was nasty.
Yeah, I mean, the Blue Jays, mid.
Pretty mid. I will say, I think if you throw them in any other division, they're probably third.
If you throw them in the AL East there, You could throw them
They're
in the
in-
AL Central.
They're in the AL East.
I meant West.
AL West.
Sorry.
AL West, yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah, if throw them in the AL West, they're second place.
Yeah, that's kind of.
Almost. Or no, they're third. They're third.
I mean, Seattle's had a lucky season. That's all I'm gonna say.
They have had a lucky season. How about J-Rod?
J-Rod.
J-Rod, he's hurt, but he sucked before he got hurt.
Yeah,
was like-
that's something to look out for, folks. You know, J-Rod coming back. You might want to hold your breath.
Pick him up in Annecy. Play some bets. All right. So after that, we have a little story time for you guys, huh? So some of you may have seen. I have a clip on TikTok, and if you watch the Parker Yard podcast, which is my Orioles podcast, you guys will know that Craig Kimbrell is an Oriole. But before Craig Kimbrell was an Oriole, Craig Kimbrell was a Philly.
Yup.
And Craig Kimbrell did not do good things on the Phillies.
He gave the World Series. He gave the World Series. Wait, I'm probably talking too loud. He gave the World Series to the Cardinals. I meant Diamondbacks. Sorry. And we could have beat the the Rangers. The Rangers. Sorry.
He sucked in the 2022
The Phillies should have won the World Series last year. And if Craig Kimbrell did not pitch that game where they gave up like 20 runs, we would be in the World Series. We would have been World Series champions. You know, continuing on to this Craig Kimbrell hatred. You know, we have a shared hatred.
shared hatred
for Craig Kimbrell. Now, me and Mr. Kovaleski over here, Mr. Cove, we went to a Orioles game this June.
Yep. June 1st.
Right, June 1st against the Rays. No, we got there, sit on the first base side.
Great seats.
Great seats, let me tell you. One of the best seats I've ever sat at any game.
Great seats.
You know.
Awesome seats. I could touch Ryan Mountcastle.
Second row, right? About 3 sections from the dugout. So we got there before the game started. You know, Craig's walking to the dugout. You know, he has his little bag in his hand. You know, got his glove. You know, all my little Pilo accessories because I'm so good. I throw 90 something and I throw like a dummy. So he was walking. I said, "Hey, Craig, you know, thanks for being like a dingus and selling us the game, the season."
He screamed this at Craig Kimbrell.
You know, and he looked back and nodded at me. It's like,
yeah.
And I think I rattled him ever since that. You know, because Mr. Cove did his research, as he can explain in a couple seconds here. Craig Kimbrell should have retired after he played for the Red Sox. Right? Right?
Yeah.
You know, he sucked in LA, he sucked in Philly, and now he sucks in Baltimore. That's all I'm going to say.
Oh, what a story, Craig Kimbrell. So after this is what I had set up. So after this generational hatred for Craig Kimbrell and this heckling.
Oh, yes, heckling.
Craig Kimbrell.
Wait, hold on. You don't understand how bad I wanted for him to come into the game. He didn't come in the game. I would have screamed my lungs. Like, more than I would have screamed at a Phillies game, I would have screamed at an Orioles game. Now, Orioles fans are, like, the most holy people in the world, right? Nothing bad happens there, ever. Well, it is in Baltimore, but we're not going to get into that.
Yeah.
I would have screamed at the top of my lungs. I probably would have got ejected from the game. The usher would have came down and grabbed me by the neck and said, "Let's go." Continue.
So after this heckling situation from Mr. Vadino over here, we think that that's when the downfall of Craig Kimbrell started. Because before this, Craig Kimbrell was absolutely fine. He was fine. He had like a 2.9 ERA. He wasn't walking that many guys. He had like 30-some strikeouts. I'm like, you know what? We got the good side of Craig Kimbrell.
Yeah,
and then
the $10 million you gave him too?
Yeah. It's fine.
For 1 year. 1 year. Remind, 1 year, $10 million. Now, what's the league average? Someone look that up.
It's
do your research.
It's okay.
Not that high. Let me just tell you.
It's not that high. So after this heckling incident, Craig Kimbrell has a 4.76 ERA, 5.29 FIP, which is his actual ERA, and a 1.441 whip, which is walks plus hits divided by innings pitched. So you could say Mr. Vadino's comments kind of stuck in his head for a bit. So that's when I think all of this Craig Kimbrell
Camaraderie.
bullshit started. We just thought that'd be kind of kind to share.
Yeah, it's a personal experience I have a lot of passion for in my heart. Wait. My heart's on this side.
No, it's not.
Wait.
That's your heart.
Oh. Oops.
Okay. So, yep, just wanted to glance over that quick. Jack Vadino broke Craig Kimbrell. That's the moral of the story.
Yep.
Now, I have two more things that we want to talk about. This is becoming one of my longer episodes.
Yeah, we're having fun.
We're having fun. Jack here decided to give a suggestion that we want to talk about some of the trades that happened at the deadline.
Yeah.
And we kind of glanced over a couple already that we have here. But the first one we wanted to talk about was the Jack Flaherty trade.
Yeah.
Jack Flaherty was traded from the
Tigers.
Tigers to the Dodgers. And he has been exactly what the Dodgers need.
Yeah. See, the Dodgers have had a lot of pitching. They need a lot of pitching help. That's all I'm gonna say.
Had a lot of injuries.
You signed Yamamoto for that big deal.
Hurt.
Glasnow
Hurt.
traded him. Hurt. Kershaw. Hurt. Who else am I missing?
Bueller. Hurt.
Bueller. Hurt. Oh wait,
Dude,
one
how
more.
nasty
Dustin May.
would that-
Dustin May.
Dustin May. Hurt.
So I think about their 5 starters. I think they wanted to come into this year are washed.
All hurt.
So now the responsibilities of the Jack Flaherty. I mean, Glasnow is going to come back. Bueller, I don't know what his ETA is. May come back for the postseason. Not sure.
Kershaw will be back here soon.
Yeah. But
Yamamoto threw a bullpen live bullpen the other day.
sim game.
Yep.
I don't know how much Kershaw is gonna have an impact on that team coming into the postseason. Obviously, they're gonna make the postseason. They're probably gonna have the highest record in the NL.
Phillies.
Doubt it.
Okay.
But I really think that the Dodgers, this was a great move for them because obviously they needed help. They also got Michael Kopech, which was also a great move. They gave up nothing for him, I think, and they also got Tommy Edman, which is a great utility piece. Even though the Dodgers kind of have a very rotational infield, I think.
Very much so.
Other than Freddie Freeman at first, but I mean that second base, shortstop with Mookie being out. Well, he just came back.
But he's gonna stick in the outfield.
Yeah, so they're gonna use Tommy Edman, I think, a little bit more. Gavin Lux is gonna see a lot of playing time. I don't know how hurt Max Muncy is. I think he's making his rehab assignment in AAA right now.
Right.
But I really think Jack Flaherty, if I had to rate it, I think I'd give it an A-.
I agree.
Based on the 3 games that he has pitched, it's been solid.
Very solid.
3.78 ERA. It's 2-1, and I think the teams that he pitched against were solid teams.
Yeah, Oakland and Pittsburgh.
I mean, Pittsburgh's a good team.
Pittsburgh
Oakland
is better than their record shows, absolutely.
Yeah.
Oakland's Oakland.
Yeah.
And then the Brewers are
Brewers are
solid.
gonna go far, I think. But
Kind of hard for them not to, being in the NL Central.
Yeah.
NL Central is dookie butter.
But I'm not exactly sure what they gave up to get Jack Flaherty, but whatever it was worth it.
I was nothing
Because
crazy.
it was nothing crazy. Yeah. I think 3 prospects probably, if I had to guess.
Something like that. Let's go down to transactions.
But I honestly think that the Dodgers, if they don't get their 3 guys back, if Yamamoto, I don't know what his ETA is.
I don't know.
Glasnow's gonna be back, and they're gonna get Kershaw back, and now they have Flaherty. So those 3 guys are gonna need to carry them throughout the postseason because postseason it's a lot of games within a lot of few days. A lot of games within a few days. Whoa, what are you looking at?
I just completely forgot. Keep talking.
Anyway, yeah, I mean they're gonna need a lot of reliability, and Flaherty has been reliable this season. He's had this honestly may be his best statistically This is his best year.
His most consistent year for sure.
Yeah.
He is the season strikeout leader for the Cardinals, which
Is kind of shocking.
yeah, he hasn't been. He was never a big name in my mind, but he had that solid season in 2019.
In 2018, 2019, he was a big name because he had a lot of potential.
Definitely.
And then he kind of like slowly dwindled down to the depths of that Cardinals rotation. Then he ended up getting traded. Yeah, but I don't know why the Cardinals really did that, because they had Wainwright, they had what's that one guy named Miles Mikolas. They're both bums. You know, Wainwright obviously retired now. Mikolas, I don't know where he is. He might still be in that rotation.
He is still in that rotation, but he's
a bum.
Bum.
So Flaherty, moral of the story, should have stayed with the Cardinals. You know, they gave up on him. You know, they gave up on a lot of players. Ozuna gave up on Ozuna, but honestly,
fuck Ozuna.
You don't really want Ozuna on your team, if I'm being completely honest. He's not a good clubhouse guy. But yeah.
Give up on Carlson. Give up on Tommy Edman.
Dylan Carlson was a big, shocking trade for me.
I didn't think he was going to get traded.
I didn't see that coming at all.
I thought he was always a great utility guy for them. He always had the biggest potential in my mind, but
he was one of their top 5 prospects, I think, at a period.
Yeah, definitely.
You know, Lars Nootbaar, if he doesn't start to put it on, he might get shoved out of there.
I'm surprised they didn't trade him, honestly, with how much they tear down.
Yeah.
I mean,
they have Arenado and Goldschmidt. That's it.
And they both suck this year.
Yeah.
They're both terrible.
Arenado should retire, in my opinion. Anyway, we're getting off topic. What were you so shocked about?
You know, as we transition into this next trade, you know who I forgot about in the Yankees rotation? Marcus Stroman.
Oh my goodness gracious!
I forgot about Marcus Stroman.
My goodness
I want
gracious.
to formally apologize for that.
Sorry, Strosho.
I completely forgot about him. He's solid. I don't think he's been being otherworldly for them.
No, he's been good.
He's kind of has he been their best starter? Honestly,
probably has the best ERA.
Yeah. So I mean, yeah. Formal apologies. Please don't block me on Twitter.
You know, haven't you had beef with Marcus Stroman on Twitter before?
No. I'm already blocked by Marcus Stroman on Twitter. Never mind. Fuck you, Marcus Stroman. I don't give a shit. Never mind. All right. I forgot about that.
All right, we're getting off topic here.
We're getting off topic. So the reason I brought that up is because we already talked about the Jazz Chisholm trade, or not particularly the trade itself. We already talked about Jazz Chisholm. He's a Yankee. He has been great for the Yankees, which is, of course, my personal hell. But
I mean, his first 5 games was against the Phillies as a Yankee.
Yeah.
3 home runs in 48 hours. That's a stat you're probably never going to see again. Well, you probably will.
You will.
You will.
Yeah.
But it's a rarity.
It's a rare, especially in their first
couple games after
being traded, adjusting that quickly.
You know, he's gonna hit a lot more home runs at Yankee Stadium, being a lefty with that short porch.
Yeah, definitely. It's a great fit. I barely thought about that. You know what? For the longest time, I thought Jazz Chisholm was a switch hitter, and he's not.
I thought he was too.
I don't think he is. I think he's just a lefty.
Was Luis Arias he's a switch hitter, right?
Mm-mm.
What? No. There was someone on the Marlins that was a switch hitter then.
Josh Bell.
Yeah, I don't know.
But that's something else I forgot about. Jazz Chisholm
was traded for Zach Gallen.
Yeah. He was the guy in the Zach Gallen trade. It was a 1-for-1, which, I mean,
if you look for the Diamondbacks, that's a win. At least now.
Mm-hmm.
Then they didn't know.
Yeah. Because Chisholm, I mean, they put him on the show cover because they thought he was.
Did they trade Zach, or did they trade Chisholm for Ozuna?
What?
Never mind. I'm gonna stop talking.
No, he wasn't in any Ozuna trades.
I'm gonna stop talking.
Yeah, he was. I think Ozuna was gone by then.
Well, Ozuna was in St. Louis, and then
because the Marlins traded him.
Zach Gallen on the Cardinals? No. I thought he was.
Are you sure? I don't think so. Nope.
Oh, he was in their system, I thought.
Uh,
Maybe I'm thinking of someone else. Yeah, drafted by the St. Louis Cardinals.
Oh wow.
I'm not wrong.
No. I wonder what happened for him to get to Arizona.
Anyway, so Jazz Chisholm, again, we were talking about the Yankees' depth and their needs to fill positions.
Traded by the St. Louis Cardinals with Sandy Alcantara, Daniel Castano.
See, I was right. It was Marcell Ozuna.
To the Miami Marlins for Marcell Ozuna. Huh.
So,
Interesting.
yeah.
And then he was traded by the Marlins to the
Jazz
Diamondbacks
Chisholm.
for Jazz. Wow. Okay.
So, in my opinion, Jazz Chisholm is going to be a mediocre player for years. He is overrated.
Oh.
He should have never been on the cover of
Oh.
MLB The Show. But talking about in this instance right now for the Yankees and this current timeline, it's a great fit for them.
He's definitely what they need.
He is hurt. He's hurt right now.
He is hurt right now. He made the comment that that he hasn't felt pain since he got put on the IL. So we'll see how that goes down.
I know you went to bed the other night, Jazz Chisholm, and I know you were hurting, bro. I don't know what's hurt, but
I know you're chugging ibuprofen.
Yeah.
He was an all-star.
Yeah, last year or 2 years ago.
Huh.
Somehow. I don't know how. But I mean they basically
60 OPS.
the Yankees gave up I don't think anyone crucial in their system at all.
That was a great move.
The Marlins were getting rid of them. The Marlins acquired I think 16 prospects in this trade deadline, which is crazy to me.
That's all. That's the
If you-
Marlins had a very, very solid deadline for what they are.
If you're talking about selling, I think the Marlins are the team you want to talk to because they gave up JT Realmuto, Marcell Ozuna,
Oh, that's
Stanton,
a whole different thing.
Yelich,
Oh my god.
Jazz Chisholm now, Luis Arias. You were talking about those are all all-stars.
Yeah.
Those are all all-stars. They could have had on their team for years. Bringing this new market to Miami, building that big stadium, now we've gone to show. Rebranding their whole team, that's another thing. Which,
Miami Vice, yeah.
in my opinion, the Marlins are mediocre. We're getting off topic here. Anyway, Chisholm, great fit. I'm going to give it an A.
An A?
I'm gonna give
That's
it an
solid. I think I give it A minus probably just because I don't know how he's gonna develop in that lineup. I feel like
And I don't know if he's going to be an everyday player either. I mean, he looked good at third.
he did look good at third.
The Yankees probably need a third baseman. But,
Yeah, fucking LeMahieu.
Well, doesn't he play second?
I
No,
can-
Torres played. They got Volpe, Torres. They need a first baseman, I think.
Anthony Rizzo.
He's hurt, though.
That one guy who had 3 home
Spencer
runs.
Jones. No.
Who?
Spencer Jones.
Who?
I'm thinking of someone else. He's on the Yankees.
It's that one guy who hit like 3 home runs in one game randomly. Not Greg Bird.
No, it's the that white guy.
Yeah, I forget his name. He
I thought
hit
his-
4th in their lineup
I thought
for
his
no
name
reason.
was Spencer Jones.
I don't think
they have
it's
another
Spencer
prospect.
Jones. We're gonna check.
They have
on
a
this.
prospect that's named Spencer Jones, and he's pretty solid.
New York Black Yankees franchise.
What are you looking up, bro?
Uh,
Anyway, it must have been the Negro Leagues
it's the
then.
Negro Leagues. All right, fine.
Well, I think it explains the name.
Yeah.
But I honestly think that the Yankees and Chisholm will go pretty decently far.
No. Luke Weaver's on that.
Just
team.
look at their depth chart, bro.
Yeah.
Ben Rice.
Ben Rice.
Ben Rice.
That's the generic white guy we were thinking
Yeah.
about. Rizzo's on the 60-day IL.
Oh, he's not coming back.
He is not coming back. Oh my days. All right. Anyway, Jazz Chisholm, good move. A minus. They got their guy.
Yep.
That's what they needed. They needed a placeholder, and I think he fits it perfectly, and maybe even more.
And if he doesn't turn out to be a long-term guy, then so be it. But I mean, it would be nice to see him stay as a Yankee.
Yeah, for you. I don't want to see Chisholm just destroy my hopes and dreams for the next 4 years.
All right, whatever.
But let's talk about building my hopes and dreams.
Yeah,
now, huh?
there we go.
Let's talk about building my hopes and dreams because the Orioles went out and got their guy, Zach Eflin.
Timeout.
Okay.
They have their guy, Corbin Burns.
Okay, but
Continue.
this is like their guy. Because Corbin Burns just gave up 8 earned yesterday. So, to the fucking red flops. All right?
All right, here we go.
All right. So now we have Zach Eflin, who is the true ace of the Baltimore Orioles.
If you look at Zach Eflin's stats for the past like couple of years, he is like one of the most underrated arms in the league, in my opinion. You know, as a little biased as a Phillies fan, he was a Philly for a decent time, but like if you look at from like 2022 to like now, he's been consistent where he's been.
Just lots of swings and misses.
Yeah, he puts the ball. It's literally home run or it's a ground ball.
Yeah.
So, I mean, when the Rays signed him, I was like, good for the Rays. They got a solid guy. You know, they got McClanahan down there. He's been hurt though, so
Yeah, he hasn't pitched at all this
I
year.
don't think so. No, but
Yeah, you're supposed to.
Eflin's going into this Orioles rotation with a couple hurt arms. You know, Eflin's going to learn a lot from Burns. You know, Burns is a great guy, great pitcher, Cy Young winner. There's a lot to look. There's a lot of upside in this deal. You know, it's a very underrated deal. You know, Eflin's not really spoken. He's not spoken enough about. Not many people talk about Zach Eflin.
Definitely underrated, like
Yeah.
you said.
His name's just not out there. He's not one of those big names that you might think of, like when you want to trade for someone or acquire someone on your team. But Zach Eflin, he's been out there. He's been solid. You know,
He has playoffs experience.
he has.
Did he pitch for you guys in the playoffs?
I don't. Was he on the Phillies in 2020s? I don't even remember.
I feel like he was.
Yeah,
Yeah, he was.
yeah. So he went to the World Series, against the Astros, but I don't think he pitched in the World Series. I think he was hurt.
He might have been. Whatever.
That's why he got. That's why we let him go because he wasn't gonna make a full return. And we also believed in Ranger Suarez, which sort of panned out. But now
Panned out for the first 2 months.
well, he got hurt. So anyway,
Again, he threw a sim game the other day, didn't he?
Suarez, yeah.
Yeah. But going back to Eflin, since in his 4 starts as an Oriole,
4-0.
4-0, he has not lost a game. 25 and a third innings pitched, 2.13 ERA.
Can't beat it.
Astounding.
Can't beat it.
Great.
He's gonna be your second half hero.
Absolutely. And if you guys watch the Park Yard podcast, you guys will know that I like pitchers who get swings and misses. Zach Eflin gets swings and misses. And, I mean, if you can... I hate the term pitch to contact.
Oh, I hate it.
Because...
Makes me sick.
Okay. I hate the term pitch to contact because it kind of... Like...
It's very broad.
It's very broad, but at the same time, it's... Every pitcher pitches to miss the barrel of the bat.
You don't want them to hit it.
Right, you don't want them to hit it. Like, pitching to contact, someone, like, if you compare the guy who only gets ground balls to the guy who only gets strikeouts, who's going to be better? Strikeouts. So,
because if you put the ball in play, you're giving your team more of a chance to make an error. I mean, they're major leaguers. You don't see errors very commonly. I mean, you do sometimes, but like...
If you're the Chicago White Sox.
Yeah, we're not going to talk about that. It's like the second time I brought up the White Sox in this video, and we haven't talked about them at all. Anyway.
I don't want to.
But MLB revolves around the White Sox, even though they are the worst team in the league. They have less than 30... Do they have 30 wins yet? Do they have 30 wins?
Yeah.
They have 30 wins somehow. Anyway. So, you know, talking about these pitchers, you know, you don't want to... I mean, necessarily, you don't want to put the ball in play. You're not going to get 27 strikeouts in a game. Has that ever happened? No.
20 strikeouts is the most.
Yeah. So you're never going to get a perfect game. You're never going to... I mean...
You're never going to get 27 strikeouts.
You're never going to get the ideal game you want to happen. Mm-hmm. There's always going to be something that doesn't go your way, and you just got to get rid of it. But no, pitchers they train to have swing and misses. You don't want to train and practice for players to hit the ball. You know, each pitcher has their own... Oh, I'm going to throw a slider away against a righty, so there's more of a chance that they might miss it. Because if it's a 1-2 count, you're looking for a fastball up, slider away, you're not going to get it. So it's just really knowing your scenarios, and a good pitcher will know that, and they'll see the success in the pitcher. And Zach Eflin is one of those guys that's been around now for a couple of years, more than a couple, couples of 2 years, but you know what I mean. But he has the experience, he has the knowledge, he has experience on a winning team, and that's what the Orioles really needed, is a knowledgeable guy that knows what winning looks like to get them to the next step.
He's kind of playing the Kyle Gibson role in a way.
Kyle Gibson's a name that the Orioles probably never want to hear again.
No.
Yeah, and the Phillies had Kyle Gibson.
Eflin's definitely a better pitcher than Kyle Gibson, but he kind of came back in the same way as Gibson did. He's kind of the veteran presence who's done it before.
Yeah.
That the Orioles just kind of needed, especially after last year, where we thought Gibson would fill that role really well, but he didn't do it the way we thought he would.
Yep.
Which, I mean, it's not the end of the world.
Oh, well.
But
I mean, the Orioles, they really... Who's that one pitcher you guys really, really want to pan out? Grayson Rodriguez?
Grayson Rodriguez.
He's the guy that you want to be the second starter in your rotation behind Burns. So, in my opinion, the Orioles...
Please be okay, Grayson Rodriguez.
You want Burns, Rodriguez, Eflin. You're starting 3 guys opening day next year. Those should be your 3 guys you want to look for. I don't know. I think this might have been Eflin's last year on this contract. We can look at that. But I think he signed a 3-year deal with the Rays when he
is a free agent.
So
in
you sell him for 2 years.
Yeah. So that's one thing that Mike Elias talked about, is where he doesn't want to get rentals.
Is that the Orioles owner?
GM. Yeah, GM. He doesn't want to get rentals, and he didn't. Like, none of the moves we made at the deadline were...
I mean, Eloy probably won't be on the Orioles next year, in my opinion.
Eloy Jimenez is my Lord and Savior. You never speak bad about Eloy Jimenez ever again. Okay? Okay.
Sad.
So, yeah, Zach Eflin, I think, is probably one of the more underrated moves of this deadline.
In my opinion, it is the best move. It's the best fit.
Definitely. It's that, and we talked about this before we started recording, Tanner Scott. To the Padres. Great move. Great
move for the Padres. The Padres are a team in that division. You have the Diamondbacks. You have the Dodgers. The Padres are in, what, 3rd place right now?
Second.
Oh, they're in 2nd. Okay.
They've been hot. Jackson Merrill. Jackson Merrill. I swear to God, I don't know if I said this before, but every time I opened Instagram, I swear to God, I saw Jackson Merrill hit a home run.
I have Jackson Merrill. I picked Jackson Merrill up on my fantasy team in our team's fantasy league.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that was one of the best moves I've made personally as a owner.
Yeah, Jackson Merrill has been disgusting. So I think that's all the trades we have lined.
Yeah,
because these are the Royals. I wanted to do a draft of some kind, but I don't know what to do. I should have discussed this with you before.
We should have discussed this
before. I feel like it should be players who both played for the Phillies and the Orioles, but I feel like that's very niche.
Freddie Galvis.
Oh my God. Michael Franco.
Michael. He was an Oriole?
Yeah. 2020, baby.
Kyle Gibson. Talking about Kyle Gibson. He was an Oriole and a Philly.
Yeah. Zach Eflin.
There you go.
Who else? Austin Hayes.
Sir Anthony Dominguez, Gregory Soto.
Oh, Gregory Soto, wild thing. Holy shit.
We don't want to talk about Gregory Soto.
We do want to talk about Sir Anthony Dominguez, who is my closer.
All right, we're not going to talk about that anymore. We're talking about Phillies and Orioles players. We're drafting them, apparently.
Philly? Okay. So, who's the best? Do you want the first pick? I don't want the first pick.
Honestly, out of the guys we just discussed, I'm going to take Zach Eflin.
You're going to take Zach Eflin.
If I had the first pick, I'm taking Zach Eflin. I feel like there's another big guy that we're missing.
We're definitely missing
someone.
I'm trying to think. Roy Halladay never pitched for the Orioles.
No.
Mike Mussina never pitched for the Orioles.
J.A. Happ? Did he ever play for the Orioles?
I don't think so. But here's the 1-1. Jim Thome.
Oh.
Jim Thome.
That guy's been on like half the teams in the MLB.
Okay. Wait.
I'm looking this up.
Jim Thome. I know he was a Philly and Oriole.
Well, I'm just looking Orioles, and I spelled oral, not Orioles. That's not even how I spell oral.
Oreos.
Phillies players.
I feel like
Jeremy that's a name. Jake Arrieta played.
Jeremy Hellickson. Oh my God.
Jake Arrieta played for the Giants.
Oh yeah. The Orioles. Oh my God. Jake Arrieta makes me so.
Jose Bautista was an Oriole.
Yeah. before he was Jose Bautista.
Oh, like he was even before the Blue Jays.
Yeah,
Wow.
it was Pirates, Orioles, then Blue Jays.
Tommy Hunter,
Oh wow.
Freddie Galvis, Kyle Gibson, Fernando Valenzuela.
What? Fernando Valenzuela? I thought he only played for the Dodgers.
Craig Kimbrell.
Ah, fuck!
Christian Pache.
Oh, we DFA'd him like
Cole
2 days after we
Irvin.
got him. Cole Irvin.
Adam
that's
Eaton, Nick Maton.
Adam Eaton was a Oriole?
Rumor has it. So, based off of career paths, Valenzuela, number 1. Jim Tomei.
Jim Tomei.
No, I'm taking Fernando Valenzuela.
I'm taking Jim Tomei.
Next.
Okay.
So yeah, I mean,
Okay, so if we're talking career-wise, then I also want Craig Kimbrell.
okay.
Craig Kimbrell was disgusting in his earlier days.
Back with the Red Sox in 2018. Sure.
Back with the dude.
Sure.
Padres Craig Kimbrell, man. That's who he came up with, I
All right,
think.
whatever.
He was also a Cub.
He won the World Series with the Cubs, right?
No. That was Chapman.
I thought he was on that team though. Was he not? Or was it the following?
He was on the Red Sox at that point. Because I think it was after 2019. Where did he play in 2020?
Red Sox.
Red
I
Sox,
think.
and then 2021 was when he started bouncing around like he is now.
We signed him in 2022.
Yeah, he
So
pitched for you guys last year.
He was on. For us, he was on the Dodgers. So,
And so before that, he was on... No, because okay, I remember Craig Kimbrell closed out a combined no hitter for the Cubs, and he had no idea it was a no hitter.
That's unheard of.
Yeah, because he was just kind of pitching, I guess.
Yeah, whatever. He's in his zone. He's like Trevor Bauer.
Oh, Trevor Bauer.
Trevor Bauer needs to make his return to the MLB.
Yes, that is a conversation for a different time.
Yeah.
God, if the Orioles get Trevor Bauer, we win the World Series for the next 10 years.
I thought you didn't want rentals.
He's not a rental. You can sign him for multiple years.
He's not going to want to stay with the Orioles.
Why not? What's wrong with the Orioles? He's an Orioles hater.
He just has a history. He has a history of leaving.
No, he doesn't.
Bro, he literally forced himself out of Arizona. Then he forced himself out of Cleveland because he was a dingus.
That's true.
Then he forced himself out of the. Well, not really. He was a free
He didn't.
agent.
He was just a free agent, and then
But
he forced himself. He didn't force himself out of the Dodgers. That's a
whole different
completely.
story.
That's a whole different story.
But like Trevor Bauer's career, and the teams he's been on, they haven't ended pretty.
That's true. And I mean,
Okay,
around the league,
Cincinnati's not his fault.
No.
Because Cincinnati's not a big market team, and he was a big market name at that time.
but yeah, coming off the Cy
Off
Young.
the Cy Young, wasn't that COVID year? Was that COVID year? That doesn't really even count.
Okay.
But like, I'm sorry, that World Series who won the World Series? The Dodgers won that World
Dodgers,
Series. That
yeah.
doesn't count.
Okay. Banner's still up.
You're an Orioles fan. You have no room to talk.
What?
All right, where are we going with this?
Oh, I have no. We were gonna draft
Are we,
Phillies
still,
and
are we
Orioles.
still doing that?
Okay, well, let's make it an actual draft. Knowing the knowledge that we have now,
Yeah,
I'm giving you the first pick.
I'll take Fernando Valenzuela.
I will take Jim Tomei.
All right,
All right, so now it gets interesting.
You know-
now you can go a couple different ways.
going off of the Phillies' history and my childhood, give me Freddie Galvis.
Freddie Galvis, he was really solid.
He
for
was the Phillies' best player at one point, which is
That's so
Sad.
sad. That's so sad.
sad.
All right. I guess. Huh. There are a couple names that I could go here. I'm thinking about Craig Kimbrell. I'm thinking about even like a Michael Franco because he was so good for you guys.
Yeah, I wish he won an MVP.
Yeah,
Wouldn't have happened.
it wouldn't have happened, but
It would have been.
he was so solid over there.
He was Mr. Consistent for a little bit, and then he fell off.
Then he became the definition of inconsistency.
Then he became a Royal.
Yeah, and then he. I'm not sure where he is now.
He's playing in Mexico or
Mexico,
something like that.
playing Trevor Bauer.
Yeah.
So okay, yeah, I'll go Craig Kimbrell as my third pick or my second.
Are we
pick.
doing 5?
Yeah. Kind of gets tough after that. Because you go with the pitchers.
give me Eflin.
Eflin. It's a solid pick.
All right, third pick.
See, Jake Arrieta had such a...
He won a Cy Young.
He won a Cy Young, and it was like the greatest Cy Young race of all time.
Yeah, and
with
then
Greinke.
he came to the Phillies, pitched one good year, and then fell off.
Yes, that's the tough part.
Got hurt.
Got hurt. That tends to be the theme. Because of how good Arrieta's Cy Young year is, I think I'm gonna go with him, even though it wasn't for like either of the teams were trying to draft from.
Still in the career.
Still in the career, so I'll go Jake Arrieta.
All right, so my fourth pick, I guess I'm gonna. It's probably gonna be a little shocking, but give me Nick Maton. Give me Nick Maton. You know, 2021 was a fun year for the Phillies. You know, we had Nick Maton, Adam Hazley. You know, who else? Matt Vierling.
Oh, Matty V. Oh Lord.
We had Didi back then, McCutcheon. You know, if you look at those players now, they're succeeding. Maybe except Nick Maton and Adam Hazley.
Adam Gregorius.
Well, he's playing in like the Netherlands.
He's playing in
I think.
Dubai.
Yeah, for like the Netherlands or he's from.
He's from the
All right.
Netherlands.
My bad. But like obviously, Andrew McCutcheon, Hall of Famer. You know, Vierling succeeding in Detroit.
Yeah.
Maton, I don't know where he went. He was in the trade.
I think he was on the Tigers.
He got traded to the Tigers with Vierling.
Yeah.
For Gregory Soto. Funny enough.
Yeah.
Anyway, yeah, he was just a fun player to watch when he succeeded. So Nick Maton.
I'm not gonna lie, I don't remember Nick Maton as an Oriole.
Probably got DFA'd.
Probably. For my fourth pick, I could go David Robertson. It's a name.
He was an Oriole?
Pretty sure. I remember him on the Orioles.
Hmm.
I could also go Sir Anthony Dominguez, just out of
could.
pure talent. I'll be damned if I'm going Gregory Soto. Man, it gets tough. Because, okay. I have Kimbrel. I have Tomei. I have Arrieta. I would like I would like another position player, but there aren't a lot of, like, man, if only Justin Turner played for the Phillies.
Well, we were thinking about getting him when he was a free agent,
Yeah,
but didn't really need him.
that's not there wasn't a hole there that needed to be filled.
Yeah. Would have been a good bat. If Harper never got hurt, then could have been a first baseman.
If Harper got hurt worse, then he could have been the first baseman. Like if he
What?
stayed on the IL. Oh no! I understand. Never mind.
Yeah.
Never mind.
Yeah.
Because I forgot that's why he was
Yeah.
the first baseman. I think for the pedigree, I kind of want to go Kyle Gibson, but he's like he was never really good.
He was mid on both teams.
Exactly. So I think for that reason, I'm gonna go Sir Anthony Dominguez. He has the big arm.
Yeah.
He has the talent.
He was a great Philly.
Yeah, he had the success for the most part. He's having success now. So
I mean, yeah, he was on that Phillies team back when they were mediocre with Cesar Hernandez and Freddie Galvis, and now went to the World Series. What?
Cesar Hernandez, an Oriole?
No.
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 Are you sure?
He played for the Indians, the White Sox, well, the Guardians. He was also an Indian.
Yeah, he was on the
The
Cleveland Redacted.
Yeah.
How about that?
That's a word.
That's a word.
And he was on another team.
Twins? Is
No.
that a name?
No.
Let's look up Cesar Hernandez, shall we?
Yeah.
That's a
But for
led the league in on base percentage in 2018.
yeah, that's a stat.
It's a stat.
My last pick's gonna be Justin Bourne.
Whoa! What?
Yeah.
Really?
He came up with the Phillies for 2 years before I was even born. Um, but like he's a guy you look at his career and not many home runs. No, not Justin Bourne. Justin Bourne.
Bourne?
Bourne.
Is that a guy?
Pretty sure.
It's not a person.
Justin Bourne.
Michael Bourne?
Maybe. Justin and Michael are like the same person. Michael.
I don't remember Michael Bourne as a Philly.
Said before I was born.
2006 Philly. And 2016 Oriole. Wow. That's a solid pick. I forgot about him on the Phillies.
Bro had a 10-year career.
-9 OPS plus.
We're not gonna talk about that part.
Oh my god.
But he went to a World Series, so.
He won the World Series. Oh no, no.
Wait.
No, he wasn't on the World Series team.
No, that was the year after.
Yeah, he was on the Astros at that point.
Yeah. Well, the Phillies went to the World Series in 08 and 09, not 07 and 08.
Yeah.
Anyway,
he was still on that solid team. He was on the.
If you look at his career numbers, 266 batting average, 36 home runs. 36 home runs through 11 years is gotta be.
Aaron Judge gets that in a hurt year.
Yeah, that's crazy. What is 36 divided by 11?
It's like a little more than 3.
Yeah, that's like Tony Gwynn numbers. Anyway,
how many home runs did Tony Gwynn?
I don't even know.
Well, how did I end up on
But
Twitter?
he had a long and somewhat promising career, I guess.
He had a decently long career.
Yeah.
Which kind of surprised me. 135 divided by
like 20. So
that's a
lot more.
That's a lot.
But still.
Michael Bourne, huh? That's a solid pick. I'll give you that. Hey, round of applause. Ball knower. For my last pick. So we're talking about Kyle Gibson again. We're talking about Cole Irvin.
Cole Irvin was the worst Phillies pitcher of all time, and I'm gonna go off on him because he made me cry.
Okay. So sorry. I feel like there might be somebody else that I'm missing.
No, Cole Irvin wasn't athletic. That's how you know he's bad.
Very true. He was on those good athletic teams, though, wasn't he? Or was he on like the
2020?
Oh,
like
the A's made the playoffs in 2020.
No, it was after Olsen and Chapman left.
Oh, so that's like 2022.
Yeah, it was when the Phillies became good.
So, I'm still talking about Kyle Gibson, Zach Eflin. I mean, he hasn't.
I said Zach Eflin.
Oh, you have Zach Eflin?
Yes.
Oh, whoops.
Wait, I do. I don't remember.
I think you do.
All right.
Well, let's recap our teams.
Venezuela.
Mm-hmm.
Freddie Galvis.
Mm-hmm.
Eflin.
Mm-hmm.
Bourne.
Mm-hmm. But you have somebody else.
And somebody else.
We should have wrote this down.
Yeah,
we're not great at
this.
We
should have came prepared.
We should have came prepared. We're not prepared.
Right. That's fine.
It's fine. My last pick is going to be Michael Franco.
I thought you said him already.
Did I?
I think you did.
Oh no.
Yeah, because we're talking about him being a Royal, and he went to the Royals. Or that was me. I don't remember.
All right. You know what?
I think we should just cap it there.
We're ending the episode here. All right. We had our discussions. Vadino, thank you for coming on the episode.
It's been a pleasure.
It's been a pleasure. And I will see you guys. Oh, I forgot to say this at the beginning of the episode. This is coming out later than I would have wanted. I wanted it on Friday, but this man over here a little busy, and I wanted to get him on the episode. So coming out on Saturday. Next episode will be on Friday. So stay tuned for that. Stay tuned for the next episode of the Parker Yard podcast coming out after this Red Sox series. And
hey, put that notifications on so you can hear this man yap.
I'm pretty good at yapping.
Yeah, we know.
And so, yeah, I will see you guys next episode.